I know we're getting tired of it. I know people don't care, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, even though I've talked about it before. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Hopefully, you're all having a good day. Before I begin, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. If you are new to this channel, hit that like button. Share this out with anyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. And if you could all help me get there, it would mean a lot to me. And for those of you that have subscribed so far, thank you so much. It means the world to me. So I put out a short earlier today talking about the extension of pitcher Zack Wheeler, who signed an extension with the Philadelphia Phillies, which was a 3-year, $126 million deal. And it was a great deal. It was good for both sides. It was clear that the Phillies wanted to retain him without him going into free agency. So they extended Wheeler and they re-signed Aaron Nola. Okay. And the Phillies haven't really made any other moves. So they haven't made any other big moves, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, in which they might make a big move and surprise everybody. Okay. Now, also worth noting with Zack Wheeler, since he has more than 10 years of Major League Baseball service and he has 5 years with the Phillies, if the Phillies try to trade him, he can veto that trade because of his service with Major League Baseball and the Philadelphia Phillies, which is the 10-5 rule. Okay, so 10 years in Major League Baseball, 5 years with a team, and he signed that extension. He can then veto any trade that the Phillies make if they try to trade him, essentially. So I thought it was worth noting, so just wanted to let you all know. Okay. Now, I know we're all sick and tired of Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery's names being mentioned. We're all sick of Scott Boris's name being mentioned. We have talked about it countless times, how Scott Boras has done his agents, or his clients, should I say, a disservice. And yes, he was able to get a deal for Cody Bellinger. He was able to get a deal for Matt Chapman. They're short-term deals with some high AAV. Both of those contracts have opt-outs. If you ask me, I don't think either one of those players should opt out after, whether it's after next season or the season after that, just because of the fact that they already had a hard time signing with a team this offseason and getting a deal that they wanted. They already had a hard time getting something that they wanted that they couldn't get, and so they had to settle on a short-term deal. So in my opinion, if I were them, I wouldn't go out and test the market again, because clearly we saw what happened when they didn't get what they wanted. So they should just play out their contracts and then go out and test the market again and try their luck out when that time comes. But that's just me. All right, that's just my opinion, and I'm not saying that's what guys like Matt Chapman and Cody Bellinger are going to do. But if I were in their position, that's what I would do. And show some consistency, play out your contract, play well, and then maybe when you test free agency again later on after your contract is over, some team will give you something better. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll leave it at that. So there was reports coming out saying that the Philadelphia Phillies were interested in Blake Snell on a short-term deal. What that deal is, I don't know. There was no details discussed. For all I know, and from what I've read, it doesn't look like Blake Snell received an offer from the Phillies. But can the Phillies sign Blake Snell? Absolutely, they can. Absolutely, they can. They have the means to do it. And they can offer him a short-term contract with a high AAV. All right. They could do the same thing with Jordan Montgomery. even though there hasn't been a report linked with Jordan Montgomery and the Phillies. There's been a report with Jordan Montgomery and the Boston Red Sox, but all they had was a meeting. Nothing has gone further than that as far as making an offer to Jordan Montgomery. But it's a shame that Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery are still free agents. It's sad. It's disappointing because we are officially 2 or 3 weeks into spring training. We're 3 weeks away from the regular season beginning, and these two big names, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, are still free agents. And it's unbelievable to me. You don't want these guys to sign later on in the season, kind of like a Dallas Keuchel type of deal, where Dallas Keuchel signed around, it was like May or June of 2019, where he finally signed with a team, but then he wasn't the same after that. So if this goes beyond March, if this goes beyond April, like if they sign in the middle of the season, do these pitchers pitch the way that we hope for them to pitch? All right. Because right now, again, spring training is going on, and, they're not with a team. They could be training somewhere. They could be, they could be working out somewhere, but they're not with a club right now. And that's a disadvantage for them, because by now they should have been signed. That way they could get adjusted to the new club, new team that they signed with, whoever that may be. Get used to the culture, get used to the environment, get used to the coaches, their teammates, right? They have to get acclimated. But we are 3 weeks out, and let's just say a deal goes down today. Now they're going to have to rush and make their adjustments and get their training in, and make sure they're loose, make sure they're doing well, make sure they don't get hurt, right? So these things matter. These things absolutely matter. And if they happen to sign in the middle of the season, there could be a case where they get hurt in the middle of the season, and now that's going to be a problem for them, and it's going to be a problem for the team that they're signed with. Again, whoever that team may be. All right. As far as the Yankees go, I know, again, some fans are hoping the Yankees sign Blake Snell. I'm on the side of, if they sign him, great. If they don't, oh well, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I would love to have Jordan Montgomery back on the Yankees, but if he doesn't come back, which he's not going to come back. I don't think there's an interest there for Montgomery. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So, I'm happy with who the Yankees have right now. Right. I think they're going to go into the season with what they have, unless they, surprise all of us, which has happened many times before. But as far as the Phillies go, they could make a run at Blake Snell. They could very well sign Blake Snell. It's entirely possible. I could see that happening. I could see the ownership spending money on Blake Snell. I could see them spending money on Jordan Montgomery. It's just a matter of, if they want to do it, if they're able to come to terms with either pitcher. But in this case, we'll leave it at Blake Snell, just because there was a report saying that the Phillies were interested in signing Blake Snell on a short-term deal, high AAV. But it depends on what Scott Boras is asking for. But as of right now, it seems like, there's not even a deal being close to being done. I don't know if the Phillies and Scott Boras discussed numbers. The Yankees are still the only team to make an offer for Blake Snell, and Blake Snell has said no twice. So I don't know. He's hurting himself. He's hurting himself. Scott Boras is hurting him. He's also hurting Jordan Montgomery. All right. But you all let me know what you think. Do you think Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery will sign this month? Do you think they'll sign in the middle of the regular season? Do they sign at all? Load up the comments. Let me know what you think. Okay. And let me know what you think about Zack Wheeler's contract extension. I think it's good for both sides. Zack Wheeler has had a good career. And, just to give you a little resume of him, he played with the Mets in 2013 to 2014. He missed 2015 and 2016 because of Tommy John surgery, and he had a hard time. He was struggling to recover from that. There was setbacks with his recovery with his elbow, right? But he did come back from 2017 to 2019 with the Mets. Pitched well with them, and then he has been with the Phillies since 2020. Has had success with the Phillies. Okay. And his success has come with the Phillies. And just to highlight his career highlights and his awards, all right, he was an all-star in 2021, an all MLB second team in 2021, and he was also a National League strikeout leader in 2021. So 2021 was an excellent year for him. And he also won the Gold Glove Award in 2023. So good pitcher, great career. He's got some good numbers. When you look at his career for win-loss record, 87 and 63 with a 3.45 ERA, and he's got 1,401 strikeouts. So he's been durable since he's been with the Phillies. He had some good years with the Mets, but he's had a better career with the Phillies. So this was good that they reunited. All right. But again, you all let me know what you think about the extension that the Phillies and Zack Wheeler agreed to. Was this good for both sides? And you're looking at 42 million AAV for Zack Wheeler, which is high. So you have to wonder if Scott Boras still thinks that he could get something like that for Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. But I doubt it. I highly doubt any team is going to want to give up that kind of money for either one of those guys. But that's what I think. I'm not saying that I'm right on this. I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm just giving my take, my opinion. You could agree, disagree. You let me know. All right. But that's all I got for now. I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let's load up the comments. Let me know what you think. Again, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this out with anyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And one last thing, I'm going to go live tomorrow twice. I'm going live 2 times. So at my usual time of 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I'm going to go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a couple of the guys. We're going to talk with Scott Braun from File Territory. So if you're able to tune in, please do. It'll be a fun time. I got to interview Scott a couple of months ago, and it was a really good conversation. Definitely learned a lot from him. So again, interview with Scott Braun from File Territory, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully I get to see all of you there. And if any other news comes out, I'm definitely going to let you know. And I'll see you all next time.